Welcome back to the Tennessee Frugal Craftsman. The day is a Monday, February 5th. I wanted to do a video that I've been asked by some of you to do, and I've kind of been putting it off. I just haven't got around to doing it, so I thought maybe today would be a good day to do that. I was going to try to finish up my basement this evening, get the last of the gravel in it, but my friend was previously occupied. So I am going to walk the perimeter of my property. My property is a little over 2.2 acres, between 2.2 and 2.3 acres, and so I'm going to walk the perimeter. I figured this would be a good time of the year to do it while the leaves are off, so you can actually get some perspective. And so I am here at the road, and I am going to walk up my line and we'll actually end back here where I started off. So perimeter, one of the very first things, my water is right within just a few feet of my my driveway, and eventually my water will go straight into the house from there. Of course, we filled this whole valley in one of my earlier videos. This used to drop down in there probably another 15 feet or more, at least from this point, 10 to 15 feet, and we put in the storm drain, which there raised it up at least 4 feet. That was all material out of the basement. So this is an uphill grade. So let's continue on up here. I see my power commission has been out here. This must be fairly new. This is Volunteer Electric, and I see that they've actually got the power pole mark, so I'm hoping that this is going to happen sooner rather than later. This is new, and so they'll go in and hook up to my temporary. Once I get that, then I can hook up my table saws, and maybe on days while I'm waiting for material or waiting for stuff to happen, I can start working on my interior doors and things like that. So keep going up the hill here. See my neighbor out. This is my corner lot right here, the corner of my post. So looking down the hill, come up the hill. You can see the corner. The corner post actually takes in my neighbor's portion of my neighbor's lawn. So I'm going to walk across here. Originally thought maybe it was possible to have a driveway up here and have the house up on top of the hill, but some of the problem with that was we didn't have enough flat area up here to stay far enough away from the line of my neighbor's property. So this is looking down the hill into my property here. So I'm at the top. Let me just continue up and through here. Get up. You can see here where they laid out portions of the reserve septic field. So this is obviously above my line or below my line. My property line is actually up in this area. So I'll turn around and it goes out through there, kind of right between these two trees. So keep going. So I'm basically walking on my line here. I still have probably 10 decent sized pine trees up here. I call them my seed trees. And you can see this is the corner of my neighbor's property. So their property runs across there. Mine keeps going here. This is part of my sawdust trail my kids made for me. So let's continue across here. This starts dropping down. One of my earlier videos I showed you a lot of the wind damage that was going on. We had one of the heavy storms in here. And then this comes to my corner lot right there. So this is the corner. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start down across. Now you can see down there, you can see my shed, but I'm up here a pretty good distance away from my shed. And this was the area where the septic field is planned, because this drops off really steep here. I mean literally drops down in there 150, 200 feet as it just drops off and goes down. So I'm right on the brink of the hill, which is the better portion of this property. And you can see here where the septic field is going to be. It's going to be all the way down across this hill. And so I'll try to stay as much as possible on my property line. There's still a bunch of trees up here that I've got to clean up, like this. Stuff that has fallen over. This has been years ago. Haven't done anything with it. In any place you see these flags, you know I'm kind of running across my line. Kind of going at an angle. Property runs along the angle of the road. See the red line there? Now I'm pretty close to the back of my shed and where my house bump out, or where the the rear access is to the house. Again, you can see this is where the septic field is going to be. Anybody who, you know, if you have questions about what I'm doing, like I've had people ask about, like I said, this property line and kind of walking it, and I thought, well, okay, I can do that. I've done this some in some of the earlier videos. I've done some of it, but I haven't done all of it. So let's continue walking down here. Again, we're going on an angle. There's one of my piles of firewood I did an earlier video on, and again I'm up in behind my shed and where the house is going to be right there. That's the bump out, or the walkout I should say, sorry, up there. And more of my firewood, piles of firewood here everywhere. Telling my wife, I said, we got enough firewood to last us for about 10 years. I don't know, the firewood probably won't last. It'll rot away before I get a chance to burn it all. This was an area where, in one of my earlier videos, you can check it out, that huge white oak tree right there came down because the next door neighbors had used it for firing, or using it for target practice, and started the rotting process. I mean, it was dozens and dozens and dozens of bullets. Started the process, and then in a big windstorm, of course the ants and stuff get into it, and big windstorm, down it came, and so here we are. I had to take that out. That was a video where I actually had to pull this up over that steep hill with a combination of pulleys and whatnot. I'll try to put the video number, episode number, in the down below on the bottom in the video screen here, so you can, if you want to check that out, and me bringing that up out of here. That was a big job. So let's continue on going down. Now we're dropping down in elevation down towards the lower portion of my property. I'm down now almost to the bottom of the hill, so kind of get a feel. This has dropped down here probably 75 feet in elevation. It's a good deer run down here. The deer actually walk right along. You can see kind of the deer path right here. I'm actually walking on it. Deer use this. There's the red mark. It's been blazed. Actually, this is the first time I've walked down here. Keep on going. The property post down there. Again, looking back up, now I'm well up away from the property line and kind of get a feel for the drop off here. I mean, we are on a side hill, there's no question about that, and we're on the best place to build up there. So, let me just check. I think that is the corner right there. Property. I don't see any more lines, so I think at this point the property line starts coming back this way, because my neighbor's property is right over there, and this comes up onto their line. So let's go up the hill here, see some of the flags. Pretty bad when I don't even know all my property. I had this surveyed, and like I said, I think that was the corner line down there, because I know it comes up here on an angle. Although I don't see, I guess these ribbons here are what they're calling our property line. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, trip and fall here. See a post up there. This is looking back up towards my line. So I'm coming up right through there. There's my property line. Let's continue to go. Now I'm coming back towards, guess I'm kind of off my line right here now. Kind of runs on an angle. My line actually runs just this side of that huge pine tree right there. Just this side of it. So it almost comes down to my neighbor's lawn. So looking back up, you can see my property, my sawmills up there, and my wood stacks and stuff. And so I'm not going to try to climb straight up that hill, but that's basically the corner post right there. So I'm going to kind of step around and go up on my neighbor's lawn. It's not quite as steep. I don't want to trip and fall here with the camera going. They actually mow this. All right. So yeah, my corner line is right there. Runs right up beside that big tree. Right up through and over the hill. Kind of on an angle. kind of see scope of the property. And we are now basically pretty much back up to where we started. This is the problem area we had. It's dried out a lot. And we're back to where we started. So it's been a little over 15 minutes walking it. A lot of it was because of the uphill and down, but now I'm out of breath. So this is the property, the homestead that I'm working on. Hopefully get that material in its final location soon. And we're back. My camera only goes about 16 minutes before it shuts off, and that walk was right at about 16 minutes to get back to where I was in the driveway. So anyway, for those who were asking about it, that's it. That's the walking of the property. This is the flat area up here. Like I said, we've got a nice flat area now because of the what we took out of the basement. And there has been some that have been asking questions about the finish of the actual driveway. This has always been what I would classify as somewhat temporary of a driveway. It was meant to get in and do what we needed to do here. I'm not exactly sure of the finish height. We may actually build this slag in. I'm not exactly sure yet. Depends on how much material we have. But long term, the plan is to extend my culvert down here and let my friend who has excavation business, if he needs a place to dump material, to extend this culvert down there that we put in 2.5 years ago, extend it on down the hill another 20 feet and just fill this right across here. So it'll widen out my driveway, give me a little bit more usable area, and then I may move my driveway down this way and take this and take it as part of the lawn. Like I said, that's for the future. It's down the road, but this is kind of where we are right now. So anyway, I didn't want to put a lot of money into the driveway. We've got number 3, and we put a little bit of crusher run in it to stabilize it a bit, but it was never intended to be the finished driveway. Eventually I'd like to put concrete or have it paved, but like I said, that's down the road. So that is Tennessee Frugal Craftsman's property in the walk. It's not a huge property, but it does what I need it to do. It's got hardwoods, and it's still got some pines, and just a great view overlooking the countryside. So until next time, appreciate you joining me. If you would, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned. We got a lot of building to do, so hopefully you'll join along and tell others about the channel if you would. But until then, until next time, as always, you have a great day.